Right, there we go. I think we've actually got a working grid now. So without further ado, let's actually race this shit now. I had to go back to the dashboard and reset the game, and finally we have all the grids we need. Right, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Just try and get around this on the Civic first of all. Man, that on the Civic was ugly back then. I actually preferred the Civic, not the recent one, but the one before it, that Type R. That was a fun little car. My cousin had the Type R, had 200 brake horsepower going through the front wheels. Which back then was a lot. Luckily it didn't talk to me very much. But the recent one's got fatter and uglier. It's kind of weird like that. It's going to what happened to the Golf before the Mark V Golf came along. I know a couple of guys suggested not to follow the racing line. Trust me, I know this. I've played this enough to realise that like I said in earlier episodes, the racing line is something you can easily err on the side of caution. It's a very conservative line. As long as you drive well enough, you can easily ignore it. Right, so we're in the lead. Now we've just got to hold it for the next 3.5 minutes. It's a bit weird that there's this lack of 5-minute event over the National B section. Considering that most of the races we've had so far are around the 3-minute mark, to suddenly jump to 5 minutes is a bit weird. But, tracks are easy enough, I'm not really complaining too much. Quite a lot there. This is what happens with Autumn Ring Mini. It starts becoming less fun once you've got a more powerful car. See, if I was in like a Golf or a Clio, this would be a lot more fun in terms of the track. Yeah, I mean, overall still nice. So this Evo 6 is really nice, a really fun car. You can tell it was built for rally. The whole rally and pedigree is far from a bad thing. So we've got 2 minutes to go here. I might be able to sneak in, not be able to do an extra lap at the end. I don't really want to run anything more than 5 minutes if I really have to, you know? We'll just go all out and see what happens. Alright, sweet. Did anyone get around to seeing the Welsh Open last night, or the other night, snooker-wise? I tuned in on Eurosport Play for the final frame, and then I saw Ronnie O'Sullivan pull off a 147 break live. I seriously nearly wet myself inside. I couldn't believe what I'd just seen. The left-handed deep screw on the final rim, probably the best shots I've ever seen in my life. Deep screw with his left hand. Curled past the pink and the black, and it was perfect on the black. It was astonishing. That man is a total genius, and I think one of the greatest British sportsmen we never talk about. Everyone talks about the more athletic sports, I think, but you also got to consider that recently the two guys that Phil Taylor, for example, Ronnie O'Sullivan, two guys that have been sports athletic. More skill and precision based are two of the greatest athletes, two of the greatest sportsmen this country's ever had, funnily enough. But you know, people will get into the argument, oh, but it's not a sport, it's a pub game, blah 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 blah. I was the guy that used to think it's martial arts was a sport. I was a dumbass back then. Anyway, last corner, 3, 2, 1. That's the final lap, and there we go. That's me working the clock quite nicely there, as you can tell. 5 minutes, 0.9. That's perfect. It was a bit cheeky of me, but I'm surprisingly okay with that. Yeah, my login bonus is back to 110 again, unfortunately. I don't log in to play this game enough, because now having an Elgato, I've got to plug stuff out and then re-plug HDMIs back in. It's a little bit annoying. If I had 2, it would all be perfect, but look, these things ain't cheap. If anything, it may not have been a bad idea just just have kept my HD PVR and just keep that in my Xbox. Just use the different HDMI cables, more likely. But doesn't really matter. It's a very minor inconvenience more than anything else. Okay, round 2. Tsukuba Circuit, or it's more like it's probably more Tsukuba Circuit, isn't it? Is the T silent when it comes to Japanese pronunciation? I don't know. I'm probably going to get another one of those condescending comments now telling me, "Oh, Dre, you say it like this!" My response is always the same. I was born with a speech and language difficulty. These things can be hard for me to interpret. Please bear that in mind, okay? Thanks. Just, if I say something wrong, there's a good reason for it. It's not that I'm, deliberately trying to get it wrong or, anything like that. It's just I literally sometimes struggle to be able to pronounce certain words. And I think that's something that affects people that don't have a speaking language disorder like I do. I know the F1 Racing Man, Ray knows Tom Stanley has to say this than I do. So, it happens. Right, 5 minutes in Tsukuba. Or is that Tsukuba? I don't even know. I've pronounced it Tsukuba for years. Ever since I first drove it. I think that was like when I was playing Enthusiast Professional Racing on my PS2. I think that was the first racing game I played with that track in the game. No, it wasn't actually. It was actually Gran Turismo 4 Prologue. Yeah, I had that PS2 game. See, when I say I've played through every GT game, I'm not joking. I've even played the spin-offs. Whoa, that means I've pushed over a little bit there. Nice. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm not entirely convinced about that. GT4 Prologue was the one with all the license tests, and it had a very limited range of cars in it. And this is one of the headlining tracks that was in the game alongside like New York, Fuji Speedway. And that was a couple of rally ones as well, but that was about it. And I remember Vicky Butler Henderson did fifth gear all the voiceover work for it. Just kind of, I'm not gonna lie, as a kid growing up, I had a huge crush on her. Like petrol head, cute girl. What could you ask for? I was 12 back then. It's the kind of person like I've had some really bad crushes over the years. It's not when I was like 7 when I was watching Kimberly from the Power Rangers when I was a kid. Let's be honest, we've all been there. Also, before I forget, I haven't forgotten about the Ask Ray Anything video. That's coming up very, very soon, I promise. I might dedicate a career mode episode to it and answer questions about the race. As a one-off or something. Or choose some of my old stock footage. But we'll wait and see. But it's coming very soon, I promise. I just haven't got around to doing something too busy with a couple of things recently. My uni work is getting in the way a little bit here and there, but it's not too bad. I must admit, I'm on a course called Kart Junior where there isn't a lot of actual coursework. It's a lot of practical stuff, but the practical stuff doesn't take very long. A lot of it is just writing, and I can do that really easily. So so the workload isn't actually that big for a guy that's doing 9 hours a week. It's not bad at all, to be honest. So I can't complain. I know a lot of people have asked me about my course, what I do. It's a little bit of everything, really. If you've ever, a lot of people have this kind of lazy view that you know, going into videos, just learning about and reading about the news. And don't get me wrong, there's an element of that involved in, you know, broadcast journalism, but it's a lot more practical than that. In my first year, I was learning about journalistic principles, like, you know, the rules and don'ts really of journalism, and, you know, the laws behind it, things like that. Writing for journalism, where I would learn how to write news stories, feature art, time, you know, learn about the structure for that kind of thing. Polemicals, like how to write rants, things like that. Also that year I did podcasting, I did digital video production, all that good stuff. Digital video production is basically putting together short videos, like a short video scene more than anything else, and I was part of a big group of like 5 people who got together to film a short horror film, basically. I scored quite well for it, actually, even though I was pretty much frozen out of my entire group for it. I was listening to the producer when I really wasn't, and I was very honest about that in my critical evaluation for the whole thing. I still scored 67. I guess the teacher must have liked my honesty. And now in the second year I'm doing things like news and current affairs, broadcast, news, magazine, journalism. I'm going to be honest, uni is not worth the $7.5 grand a year that I have to pay for it, but I need it for where I want to go, and what I want to do in the future, so you kind of have to learn it, you know. A lot of people are going back to uni now as mature students and picking up new skills. My mum's doing that right now, she's 50 this year, crazy enough. She's 50 this year, she's learning how to be a childminder. Anywho, 5:25, nice. Okay, that's another 10 grand in the bank. Another 3 stars. And yeah, let's get out of here and move on to the next one. Okay, final race. The circuit, the Roma. We did this one in the last episode. Same deal again here. 5 minutes on the clock. And we'll get down to business. As you can see, the further you move down the list and the more race distance you cover, the more credits you get in a Grand Prix. So, obviously that twin to the logging bonus can work out quite nicely for you. Bit of a minor spoiler alert. You don't really start hitting the big bucks until you unlock the Red Bull X Challenge. The Red Bull X Challenge we'll get to later in the game. That's when they start getting really generous with the money. Like, seriously, like, we're getting close to like the millions of credits here. Way more than the standard events, let's put it that way. Okay, Roma. Obviously, the background comes around this time. Just reminds me of the Roma Inter game I wanted to start on Saturday night. 2-0, boring arse there. I'm an Inter fan as well as a Manchester United fan, so they're 2 of the 3 teams I follow. Manchester United, Inter Milan and Brentford are just down the road actually at Britain Park. I'm very glad that they get a new stadium soon, which is excellent. But yeah, I've been an Inter fan for about 10-15 years now, and yeah, it's a lot of news. Well, to be honest, it's been better than last year. Last year we were awful. You know, Walter Mazzari's actually been a pretty good manager for us, so I can't really complain too much. This is the crazy thing, when I live commentate, I talk about all sorts of things really. Also, I remember, I think it was Andy the Blade who asked me in a video, asking me, do you think the AI is more aggressive? The answer to that is yes. I really do think they're more aggressive this year. They're more aggressive, they're more likely to go for a gap. They're still a little bit conservative here and there. I still think overall they're a bit too slow. But it's definitely a minor improvement. Did I yawn? Sorry about that. It's definitely a minor improvement on previous games. Still got a ways to go yet. It's not quite Forza 5. I've played Forza 5. I haven't got that much one, but I've played Forza 5. And the driver system they have there is pretty good. The issue with it is that they're very aggressive, almost too aggressive in the arena race sometimes, which just isn't a cool thing. This is only going to be a 4-lap race. We're already hungry for the time already. Two laps yet, so Roma's definitely the longest of the tracks involved for us. I mean, altering minis about 42, 43 seconds a lap. Snooker is like a minute 4, minute 5, and that is going to be up a minute 22, 23, something like that. Yeah, 22.3. 2:10 to go. Okay. Le Mans, this is not, folks. Just so I remind you, I actually saw Porsche's new prototype racer for there, and it's a little bit bland, to be honest. Also, the nice bit of news to hear was that Mark Webber's going to be joining BBC F1's coverage next season. At a few races here and there. I put on Facebook, like, let's play the Mark Webber drinking game. Every time he takes a jab at his employers, take a drink. The thing is, I know Mark Webber had a lot of fans when I was watching it. He was a grumpy old tit sometimes, which he was. I always thought that Webber was a little bit jealous of never being the guy. And I think he's still a little bit resentful. He never won that 2010 world title, and he was really close to getting. Not being able to get past Alonso and Vitali Petrov in that Renault at Abu Dhabi ultimately killed him for it. You know, Sebastian Vettel came on very strong at the end of that year. I mean, he won 3 of the last 4 races. I know on the Hamilton video, someone, guys commented saying, "Oh, well, 2010 was Webber's title." No, it really wasn't really. One of those unfortunate parts of the sport, you know. Sometimes a late run winning. Vettel's done that twice. I mean, 2010, he won 3 of the last 4. 2012, he had that block in Asia where he won Singapore, Japan, Korea, and India. That the Asian block where Vettel won 4 in a row, didn't struggle on the title. Really took a fight to Alonso. You know, stories. You know. I just want to say thanks to everybody who watched the Fantastic Four series as well. That series is a lot better than I thought it was going to do, and I'm very proud of it. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. It was some of the hardest content I've had to create over my time on the channel. It was also the most rewarding, and to put together, you know, 15, 20-minute features on that kind of thing, do it confidently, for the most part fluidly, and be able to get my points across. I was really proud of that. So the fact that you guys resonated with that and seemed to enjoy it as well was very cool. So thank you for that, guys. I really do appreciate the comments. I'm probably not going to do any more of them. I know I was thinking about doing a button one as well, but I'm probably not going to bother. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for the support on that one. Appreciate it. As we finish the 5-minute races, which is good. Right. 5 minutes 32. That one ran over quite a little bit, didn't it? I should have deliberately driven slower and just only get to get 3 laps in. maybe. So 11,000 credits there, and another 3 stars. So that completes the 5-minute races section. We're up to, I think, 36 stars in the section now, which is good. Okay. Let's leave that alone. Let's just quickly go back to the main menu and see if we've unlocked anything. No, we haven't, which is fine. So let's go back here to the Sunday Kart Junior races next. Races for those who drive Gran Turismo Junior racing karts. Enjoy the direct handling sensation that only racing karts can provide. Racing karts can be purchased from the Gran Turismo dealership. Yeah, if you need a kart, you win one for getting all the stars in the novice tier. So you get this for free. If not a big deal. You can still buy one, and they're only 10,000 credits each at the most. So like even the most powerful kart in the game is only 10 grand. It's ridiculously good value for money. It really is. Given that many of these karts, their cornering speed is ridiculous because of the direct handling and the power you get. But yeah, welcome to the Gran Turismo Arena. Started fourth this time around actually. For the Sunday Kart Junior races. You may remember that karting made its debut in Gran Turismo 5, the last game of the franchise. And then back to this one, there's more karts to choose from as well, which is quite nice. Once you get that power bracket, off you go. I haven't asked in the past, like, Gravy, ever done any other forms of racing, like the way I've done karting. The answer to that is only on a very small scale. Like the kind of karting you get when you go to an exhibition arena, you know, not like proper cars. Like what you see here. I know my friend Jane, Tiro Limitless, they know that. He did karts on my biggest scale. I know Alex Afro does karts on a much bigger scale. A little bit. Camera angle, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I've never done any karts outside of an exhibition arena, really. I kind of always wanted to, but I thought I'd be too big for a kart. I'm a big guy. I'm 6 foot 2, I weigh about 17 stone. It's not pretty. So I'll try and make the best of it, I suppose. Whoa, almost lost it there. Whoa! Oh, I botched that one, didn't I? On the last lap as well. Dre, you idiot. Right, let's quickly try that again, shall we? Luckily, this race is very quick. It's only about 90 seconds long, so it's not a big deal if I do it again. And these are actually quite tricky. These are sports soft tires. I can put a number on this as well. So I've got to get around to that. Find out for those curves, they're actually really bumpy, considering these karts have no suspension. It's asking for trouble by driving over them. These karts are fun, they really are. Very cool for Gran Turismo to add them into the future because they are very nice. Very fun to drive once you can handle it. It also kind of goes back to the question of what would your racing number be. I'll tell you what my number would be after this race. Also, a bit of a tip as well for these cars. Just have the confidence to try and take it as fast as you can. And go steering quite directly, so bear that in mind. Try to stay in that power range as long as you can. Once you drop out of those revs, it's really hard to get back up to speed again. So there we go. Easy enough. About 1 minute 40 for the whole race. Yeah, 1:39.8. Not bad at all. So yeah, that was easy. I think Autumn Ring Mini and Kart Space are the other two. It's a really nice they got a Gran Turismo Arena in this year's games. It's quite a nice feature actually. A headline or something. But I'll tell you my racing number right now. If I couldn't take 101, obviously, because that's been my trademark for a long time now. About 6 years, actually. A lot of people don't even realise how long I've had that nickname for. For those guys that don't know the story of my nickname, Harrison101, as you know, Harrison is my surname. And 101 is kind of like a set of rules you have to follow. Like, you know, it's like, you know, for example, like, you know, Burger King Rules 101 or whatever. That's kind of a thing, so. So things like that, for example. That's how I got my name, and I started using that when I joined a place called the Maryland Forums. I think it was back in 2006 I did that, and that was the name I chose, and it's stuck with me ever since. It really has. That's how I got my username, in case you're wondering. But people have asked me about that. So there you go. That's the full story. I've just carried that name ever since. Right, next up is Autumn Ring Mini. But yeah, like I said, that's how I got my username. And I bet you're wondering, why did I choose the number 5? Because the number 5 is 101 binary, believe it or not. I've got to give a shout out to Jack Pickering, who came up with that suggestion about what my racing number could have been. And I'm not just saying it's 5 because that's Sebastian Vettel's number when he's not a champion. I would have gone for 5 anyway because, like I said, as Jack quite rightly pointed out, 101 in binary actually equals 5. Those guys that don't know how binary works, it's basically how PCs use numbers. Computers speak basically, and they use the place value sequence to create any number they like. They only use 1s and 0s in binary, and you read it from right to left. So, for example, the first digit you have in a binary is 1. The first unit is worth 1. The second unit, if you go to the left, is worth 2. TV's going to update itself. Hang on. Update later. There we go. But my Samsung TV is going to update itself. Right before that right up to date. Like, the third unit to the left is worth 4, and so on and so forth. Can you work it out now? So if there's a 1 on the far right, that represents the 1. There's a 0 in the 2 column, so we're just going to go to 0, and there's a 1 in the 4 column on the far left, so that's going to be 4. 4 plus the 1 is 5, so that's the same at 101 in binary. I may have explained that before in an earlier video, but it's actually quite neat when I think about it. I'll spot the jack, so I would never have guessed that. I know how binary works, I just never would have looked at it that way. But yeah, using those system of basically, you know, two pattern of sequence, you can get any number you like by using that binary / basically value system. Wait, oh god, this is the last lap, shit. Hang on. Hang on a minute. I was so distracted talking about that, I didn't realise that it was only a 2-lap race. That's a bit dirty of me, isn't it? Okay. Let's try this again. I don't know what I was doing there, but I forgot about that. Also kind of realised, well, you need to take a lot of these corners flat out around the car. grip these cards have got really is immense sometimes. It's why their PP is nearly the same as like the Toyota GTs I was driving earlier. Still like about 8 seconds a lap slower than what the Mitsubishi yards are going around here earlier. Okay. Lead us is in now. Again, I can't believe it's only a 2-lap race. It's such a short race. It's going to be over in a minute 40. Pretty straightforward this kind of car though, but like 75% of it is flat out at least. It's more like 85%. Yeah. Good one to the floor. Easy. Cross the line. In about 1 minute 40 or so. Yeah, 1:40.4. Hard to gain time in it's hard to gain time in a car around here, to be honest. Because a lot of it is flat out. As long as your driving lines are solid, you don't really need to brake for most of it. Okay, that was a bit of a derp. First time around. What about that? I was too busy trying to explain binary to my viewers in the middle of a Gran Turismo video. Yeah, that's very weird of me. Okay, final race in this category is Kart Space 2. Okay, now this is actually quite a fancy little place once you actually see it load up. Again, Kart Space I think was in Gran Turismo 5 as downloadable content. It wasn't in the original GT5, but it came down later on. You see, it's very pretty. Oh my gosh. Fountains and all that kind of stuff. I mean, holy hell. But yeah, a bit longer than the other tracks. As you can see, it looks so amazing. Like, if there was ever a dream kart track, this would be probably look like that. Okay. 3 laps of Kart Space 2. I think you can take certain cars around here as well. I don't think you really want to, but yeah, the possibility is there, I think. Great track, fantastic. This in the top end part would be really fun. Because the top end part in this game is called the shifter. And the special thing about the shifter is it actually has a 6-speed gearbox. It goes like 110 miles an hour. For a kart to do 110 is ridiculous. They take the shit down a motorway. That's insane. Think about that for a minute. You're in your car and then you know on the autobahn there's another car right in front of you. Oh, don't mind me, it's a bit wet out here, but I'm in my car doing this. I'm guessing the fuel is not good though. Time. Speed was sub 30-second lap. Not quite, 30.3. And that's the karting taken care of for now. We'll be back with this later. There's a karting event in National A which is ridiculously hard. So it's on the second version of this very track. Or the first version, I should say. It's a more complicated version of Kart Space. You'll see that when we get to it, which isn't that far away actually. But yeah, that's the karts out of the way, and I think that'll do it for this episode actually, which is cool. Okay. Oh yes, by the way, because we have 45 of the 90 stars in National B, which is 50%, we get this, the Lancia Delta Integrale. One of the true great Italian cars of all time. We'll get it in white, because white's a nice colour. Even though it looks more like beige, to be honest. But maybe that's the age. It is 23 years old after all. We might be using that in some events later on. But yes, there we go. We have 45 of the 90 stars in National B. Oh, I've only got a loading screen here. Yep, okay. So yeah, we'll leave it there for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it very much. And check back tomorrow for more. Until then, I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.